everybody, and welcome back to the Fantasy Football Fanatic, the channel that's dedicated to the Fantasy Hub Fantasy Football game. My name is Matt, and this is episode 7 of the Fantasy Hub Premier League series that I'm doing, where we'll look back on the previous game week and how my team performed, and then look ahead to the next game week 7, look at the fixtures and the transfers that I'm looking to make for this coming week. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe and hit notifications so you know when we're uploading the next video to the channel. And with all that said, let's get into it. So the game was updated at the end of game week 6. Much better week this week than the last two. So 67 points finished on, which is consolidating more than anything. I haven't really moved in the overall World Championship position, but haven't fallen any further down. Managed to comfortably beat the average point score this week as well. Overall, get the extra 0.2 for the head-to-head winnings as well, which goes into the budget for next week. And in the mini league that I'm in, the official Fantasy Hub League, gone up to 135, 135th place in that league. I was over 200, so it has gone in the right direction for sure. So hopefully, looking to build on that for in game week 7. And hopefully in my mini league get into the top 100. So let me know how you did in game week 6. How many points did you manage to get? Where are you standing in your current mini leagues and overall in the World Championship? Let me know in the comments. And now I'm just going to go through the individual player points totals for my team for game week 6. So let's get into that now. Looking at the individual player points totals for game week 6 then. So start off with the goalkeeper, GW6. Absolutely fantastic points total from him this week. He got the clean sheet and he got an assist as well, which is very rare for a keeper. So 13 points, couldn't be more happier with his performance. Going into Luke Shaw, just the 2 points because he came off with an injury before half time. So even though Man United did actually lose the game against Aston Villa, his points stayed intact because he came off before 45 minutes. So just the 2 points for him, and he is doubtful now for this weekend's fixture. So be monitoring that closely to see what happens with him, because he could be one player that I'm looking to move on this week. And also with Alexander-Arnold as well. Amazing game against Brentford, 3-3, but not so good from a fantasy point of view. So with Liverpool conceding the 3 goals, he got -1. Again, he's missed the midweek game in the Champions League due to a groin issue, and I think from what I've read, he's doubtful for the weekend as well. So again, I'm going to monitor that, and it might be Shaw and Alexander-Arnold that I need to replace this week. Semedo got the clean sheet for Wolves, so yeah, really happy with that from him. And then moving on to the midfield, Rafinha has been excellent for me. I transferred him in last week. He got a goal last week and again a goal this week. So I'm really happy with the 2 8-point returns in the 2 weeks that I've owned him so far. And looking to hold him for the foreseeable because Leeds' run of fixtures is pretty decent. And with Bamford being confirmed out this week, for this week at least, Rafinha's their main attacking threat. So hopefully he will get on the score sheet again. Ismail Assar again, was very confident that he would score this week, and he did. So the 8 points for the goal there. Demarai Gray got an assist, 5 points for him. And then Mo Salah. Originally I had Ferran Torres, he didn't play for Man City at all, so that's 2 weeks in a row that he hadn't featured for Man City. So I decided at the time was to get rid of him because he's just become a bit of a liability. I know a few weeks ago I was really excited to own him. He looked a really good pick. Looked as though he was going to hold down that number 9 spot in the City team because they didn't go out and buy a number 9 in the transfer window. But it doesn't seem to have panned out that way. He's kind of fallen out of favour, or he's just too much of a rotation risk to keep in at his price point. And he's not, as I say, he's not even played any minutes in the last 3 games, if you include the Champions League as well. So there's something wrong there. I don't know what it is, but yeah, had to get rid of him. And I brought Sarr in for Torres, so happy with that. Then also I had Ben Rama in for West Ham, just the 2 points from him, so another blank on the attacking returns side of things. So I felt it was time to get rid of him, and brought in Mo Salah, as he's the main man at Liverpool. I had Diego Jota the previous week. I transferred him out because he wasn't producing, but then he goes and scores a goal himself as well in the same game. But Salah's still super consistent, still scoring a goal a game at the moment. So yeah, I think you've got to have him. So happy with the midfielder returns for sure. And then up top for the 3 forward spots. So initially started with Danny Ings and Ronaldo and Lukaku. Ings, even though Aston Villa did manage to pull off a shock win against Man United, it wasn't Ings who got on the score sheet. He was actually subbed off halfway through the second half. So I made the decision to just do a straight swap to Antonio, as they were both the same price, 7.5 million. So it's just an easy swap to Antonio, and that paid off with Antonio grabbing the goal in his game. But then the other two, slightly disappointing, Lukaku and Ronaldo, no scoring returns from them. Just the 2 points for Lukaku for starting. I did end up captaining Ronaldo in the end, and I thought that would be the easiest fixture on paper, as Man United were playing Aston Villa at home, have been out of sorts, but still, it was actually Man United who were out of sorts in that game, and that was very disappointing. But overall, like I say, 67 points, and I think that's a decent score, consolidating my position in the leagues. So now I'm going to look ahead to game week 7 and look at the fixtures in more detail, and talk about the transfers that I'm potentially looking to make in game week 7. So let's look at that now. Going to head to game week 7's fixtures then. So first of all, the 12:30 kick-off on Saturday is Man United versus Everton. On paper, you'd say this again is a good game for Manchester United, but we would have said that last week against Aston Villa. And, arguably Everton have been playing better than Aston Villa so far this season, so it might not be as straightforward as it looks to begin with. But, with the likes of Ronaldo, Man United should still be winning this tie, in my opinion. So they've got Ronaldo and Luke Shaw if he's fit and plays, and for Everton I've got Demarai Gray, who is still one of Everton's main attacking threats at the moment, with Calvert-Lewin being injured. Then following on to the 3 p.m. kickoff, so you've got Burnley and Norwich. If I was to transfer somebody in for this fixture, it would just be for this one game only. As Burnley and Norwich are both at the foot of the table, battling for, a relegation at the minute. You'd say Burnley are slight favourites for this game, with them being at home against the bottom team Norwich. And if I was to transfer in a player, it probably would be Chris Wood, who's Burnley's main striker. He's got a good chance of scoring in this game. But it just depends on what are the circumstances with the defenders. If Shaw and Alexander Arnold are out, then I'm probably going to have to make some defensive changes to my team, and the defensive changes would be more than likely 2 Chelsea defenders. Going from game week 7 onwards, Chelsea have a really good run of fixtures on paper, starting with Southampton, who have been pretty poor this season, and I think there's a high chance of Chelsea getting a clean sheet in this game. And also Lukaku, who I've got up in the striker position, high chance that he's going to get on the score sheet in this game, in my opinion. So, there's defenders such as Marcus Alonso has been a mainstay in the side. Azpilicueta, Rudiger. You just have to see who is picked for the game, but those three have been a mainstay so far. So it'll be two of those three maybe if Shaw and Alexander-Arnold were injured. Leeds and Watford got one player from each side in this, and I think it's the best two to have at this moment in time. So Sarr for Watford and Rafinha for Leeds. And then Wolves and Newcastle, so they got Jose Sarr, the goalkeeper, and Semedo in defence. And hopefully Wolves can keep a clean sheet at home to a poor Newcastle side. Newcastle do have individual brilliance in Alan Saint-Maximin, but hopefully that Wolves can keep him quiet, and I don't believe that Callum Wilson is fit enough yet to start. So, yeah, hopefully get a clean sheet, a double clean sheet, and if Semedo does get forward quite a bit as well, if he can get an attacking return and assist, that'll be even better. This game, the evening game on Saturday, Brighton versus Arsenal. So Arsenal played very well against Spurs, but you'd have to say at the moment Brighton are a better side than Spurs, at least defensively anyway. They're punching well above the weight in the league at the minute, up in the top half. And questions still, the jury for me is still out on Arsenal, against better quality opposition. Spurs were absolutely awful in that game. Against better quality opposition, how are they going to fare? And for me, the jury's still out, and I just can't. I'd need to see a consistent run of games from Arsenal playing well and scoring before I transfer some of a player in from their side. For Sunday's games, so you've got first of all Crystal Palace Leicester. Jamie Vardy is absolutely on fire at the moment for Leicester. I think he's either top scorer in the league or joint top scorer at least in the league. And even though Leicester as a team have been playing pretty poorly, he's still finding a way to get goals, and could very well get on the score sheet against Palace. So he's another player that I'm potentially looking at bringing in. And then Spurs and Villa, I wouldn't touch this fixture at all. Really, Spurs absolutely woeful at the moment, and Villa not been great either. West Ham versus Brentford. So I got Mikel Antonio for this game, but again, Brentford have, I think, surprised everyone so far this season. They've been really, really solid. But still, I can see Antonio, especially at home, getting on the score sheet here. He's playing, really, really well still. And finally, the biggest match of the entire weekend, Liverpool Man City. In the last couple of seasons, this has been like the title decider, and expect a really good game again this time around. Obviously got Mo Salah and Alexander-Arnold in for Liverpool. Don't have any Man City players in at the moment, and I don't think I'd look to bring any in for this particular game. Given that it is against Liverpool. My other sort of idea is if Shaw or Alexander-Arnold are fit, and we get confirmation of that, then I'd be looking maybe to double up in attack on Liverpool, because Liverpool actually play first in game week 8, so it does fit nicely with the flow of fixtures for game week 8 to have two Liverpool attackers that you can have for the first fixture in game week 8, and then obviously move on as for the rest of the fixtures in that game week. In terms of captaincy, so you've got two standouts again, really. You've got Ronaldo at Man United and Lukaku for Chelsea for me. And I captained Ronaldo last week and got burned for that. I think this week I'm going to switch the captaincy to Lukaku. I just think that Chelsea at home against Southampton, he's got more of a likelihood to score, because Southampton have been by and large pretty poor this season. I know they got a draw at City. That must be an off day for City, I think, and they didn't have a lot of time to prepare for that game, City, following the Champions League matches. And I just think that Chelsea will be more of a threat at Stamford Bridge, and having lost their last match against Man City, they'll be looking to rectify things so they can, remain competitive at the top of the league. So yeah, Lukaku for me at the moment just edging the captaincy. So that's the look at the game week 7 fixtures. Again, let me know what your who you're planning to bring in. What's your strategy for transfers for this week? What do you think of my strategy, of the players I'm looking to bring in? Let me know in the comments. Love to hear. Okay guys, so that brings us to the end of episode 7. Hope you did enjoy that. If you did, as always, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, all the good stuff that helps the channel out. If you want to further interact with the channel via Twitter, FFB_Fanatik is my Twitter handle, and the details of that are always in the video description. Good luck to everybody who's playing the game for the forthcoming game week, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.